Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to yet another Stone Cold Hockey franchise qualifying tournament for the 32 teams. Each one will get one spot into a 32 team tournament of champions. So, this video we'll be talking first about the Atlanta / Winnipeg franchise. I know a lot of people are thinking Winnipeg had more teams than 4, right? Technically, yes, but remember, the current Winnipeg Jets are the former Atlanta Thrashers. The other Winnipeg Jets are the Phoenix Coyotes. Well, Arizona Coyotes. I still call them Phoenix. So the fact of the matter is, only 4 of my 11 seasons have an Atlanta / Winnipeg team in. So it's just basically franchise semifinals until we have a finalist and we have a champion. So there's a 75% chance a team from Winnipeg could get in. But there could also be a chance that a Winnipeg team could get in for Winnipeg / Phoenix. But the rules are that Winnipeg team is representing a Phoenix, so no wide Atlanta or Phoenix, if that happens. So anyway, Atlanta versus Winnipeg. So the Atlanta team in it, the 06 team, takes on the 2012 Winnipeg team with the two youngest, 22 and 23, facing each other in the other semifinals. So anyway, first up, we have Atlanta winning 3-0 as Lehtinen with the shutout over Pavlich. Goals by Slava Kozlov, Peter Bondra, and Ilya Kovalchuk. 3 guys who've never been in my kitchen. Sorry, that's a Cheers reference. Meanwhile, the 23 squad with a shutout, 3-0 is Rittich with the shutout over Hellebuck. Perfetti, Ehlers, and Morrissey, Josh Morrissey, that is, with the goals. Game 2 saw the 23 squad overtime heroics. Hellebuck beats Comrie. The 23 squad, Neil Pionk and Sam Gagne scored. So for 5+ periods, the 22 squad could not score a goal before Mark Scheifele scored. Scheifele is a Kitchener native, but I don't yell Kitchener because that's only for Kitchener Rangers. Nick Ehlers scored, and then Perfetti in overtime after Pierre-Luc Dubois, got penalized. Morrissey and Wheeler with the assist on Perfetti. So, meanwhile, Atlanta wins 9-0 as Shields the shutout over Pavlich, and that 2012 team must have sucked. Bobby Holik with 2 goals, Jim Slater with 2 goals, Kovalchuk, Kozlov, Havlicek, Sutton, and Mark Savard. Can you believe it? A lot of Devils. So, the 06 Thrashers 6 straight periods without giving up a goal. Game 3 saw Atlanta win in overtime. Winnipeg didn't score till 9:29 of the second period of that game. So that was, if I'm reading it correctly, 149 minutes. The 2012 Winnipeg Jets couldn't score a goal. Shields beats Pavlich. Winnipeg goals by Dustin Buckland, Brian Little, and Tim Stapleton. Atlanta goals by Ronald Petrofecki, Eric Bolton, Slava Kozlov, and then in overtime on a power play, after the former was in the box, I think it's JP Fugé, right? Yeah, from Scott Mellenby and Mark Savard. Fugé. In the meantime, the 23 squad wins in overtime, so looks like we have a pair of heroes maybe. Hellebuck be Hellebuck. Nick Ehlers is the hero. So, does the 23 Winnipeg Jets pull off the sweep? The answer is yes, they do. 5-4. Rittich beats Hellebuck. The 22 squad, Perfetti, Connor, and Tony Nato. Meanwhile, the 23 squad, Pierre-Luc Dubois, why did I say that? Dubois, Scheifele, Nina Ryder, and Neil Pionk. The goal. Yeah, Dubois now let's play for LA in real life, if you must know. Does Atlanta pull off the sweep? No, they don't. They lose in overtime, 3-2, as Pavlich beats Mike Dunham. Atlanta was up 2-0. Bondra and O'Brien has scored, but Winnipeg goes Eric Fury and Kyle Wellwood, and then in overtime, the former Leaf Wellwood with the overtime goal from Landon Antropov. Doing the job. Atlanta still up 3-1. Oh, now it's 3-2. They lose 2-1 as Steve Mason. Oh no, sorry, not Steve Mason. Sorry, Chris Mason with the win over Kerry Lehtinen. Winnipeg goals by Brian Little and Evander Kane. Kozlov for the Thrashers. Atlanta better frickin' win. They don't win. They lose 2-0. Pavlich to the shutout. Antropov and Mietinen. Could the 06 Atlanta Thrashers, suffer the indignity of a shutout of being up 3-0 and then fucking it up? We shall see. Autoplay. Did they? Yes, they they did. They lose 3-2. Pavlich beats Lettinen. Haviland and Kozlov scored, but Buckland, Wellwood, and Stapleton scored. Can you believe it? Atlanta had a 3-0 series lead and trying to get their city a chance in this tournament, and yet they blew it with 3 one-goal losses. Dude, they had 2 home games and they fucked it up. So it's 23 versus 12. So the 23 Jets going through that game with the sweep. Hellebuck 2-0, Rittich 2-0. Cole Perfetti with 5 points. No Kitchener Rangers on that team. And the 2012 Winnipeg Jets with Pavlich 3-3, Chris Mason 1-0. That 7-game series. Blake Wheeler 5 points. That's just hard to believe that 5 points was enough for 7. So 0-0. Which Winnipeg team will it be? The 2012 or the 2023 team? Game 1 sees the 23 squad win on the Progation. Hellebuck beats Mason. That's Chris Mason, not Steve Mason. The 12 squad was up 2-0. Tanner Glass and Brian Little. Winnipeg, but then Dubois put up a pair of goals before an overtime at 15-17. Adam Lowry from Johnson Fialpi. Game 2 sees the 2012 team win 2-0. Pavlich with the shutout over Hellebuck. Wheeler and Little. Blake Wheeler. Sorry, Ranger friends will know that. Blake Wheeler and Brian Little. I'm not sure who the next team will be. I think Calgary. I think we'll go Calgary. Calgary? I think we'll go with Calgary. I think we'll go with Calgary next. Cause I know what I'll go with Calgary next. So Calgary will be the next team to talk about. Anyway, Game 3 sees the 23 team win 4-2. Hellebuck beats Pavlich. The 12 squad, Stapleton and Wellwood. But Winnipeg goes by Connor, Dubois, and then Janssen Fialpi. Game 4 sees the 23 Jets now 1 win away. Hellebuck beats Pavlich. 2012 team, Bogosian, Kane, and Little with the goals. While the 23 squad, Nemesnikov, named Stinkov, as I call him, Sam Gagné and Nick Ehlers scoring the goals, but in overtime, Kyle Connor at 106 from Dubois and Perfetti. Do they win in 5? Yes, they do. The 23 Winnipeg Jets win. I don't know how they did. I know they made the playoffs. Rittich beat Pavlich. The 12 squad, Evander Kane the only goal, but Sam Gagné, Nick Ehlers, Mark Scheifele, and Neil Bianc for the goals. So the 23 Jets win. I just have to do a quick look at the 2023 Winnipeg Jets and see how they did in real life. 21st season, they lost to Vegas in the first round. Well, since Vegas technically has only 2 teams, and I picked the 23 team to win the Stanley Cup. The Stanley Cup champs. So the 20 squad lost in the first round. We will be doing Calgary next. So Calgary will be the next team on the list. New playoffs. Get this out of the way. They're called Calgary. TRY. Just to be cheeky. Now Atlanta / Calgary. There will be 8 teams. The 75 Flames. And then the rest will be Calgary raised. We were born in Calgary. I don't know why I sang that, but yeah. So Calgary will get that. Yeah, one Atlanta team, just like their brethren. Why I said it like that, I don't know. So yeah, we might as well do the theme of Atlanta and see if they can sneak in. Ah, jeez. Not supposed to do that. Alright, so create. So yeah, so 8 teams for Calgary teams. The Atlanta team faces the 2012 squad. 84 takes on 06, 94 versus 23, and 91 versus 22. Who will be the Atlanta / Calgary champion of the world? 7th video. Here we go. First off, 84 versus 06. The 06 squad wins 3-2 as Mika Kiprusoff beats Don Edwards. Kitchener. Yeah, he was former Kitchener Ranger goalie. And the best Kitchener Ranger goalie until Steve Mason came along. Kind of sad, don't you think? And I know Kitchener Ranger fans would be like, what about Mike Torquia? What NHL career did he have? He barely had a career in the NHL. So anyway, the 06 team, Roman Hamrlik, Iggy Pop, and Chuck Kobasu with the goals. 84 squad, Steve Bozek and Lanny McDonald. Meanwhile, the Atlanta team wins 3-2 in overtime. Dan Bouchard beats Mika Kiprusoff. The 2012 squad, goals by Alex Tanga and Kurt Glencross, by Atlanta goals by Keith McCreary, Harlan Graves, and then in overtime by Kurt Bennett at 8:43 from Harvey and Lysiak. The 22 squad beats the 91 squad 6-1. Markstrom beats Rick Walmsley. The only goal for the 91 team was Doug Gilmore before he held out and was traded to the Leafs. 22 squad, Sadorov, Mangiapane, Michael Backlund, Tyler Toffoli, and Sean Monahan. Meanwhile, the 94 squad beats the 23 squad 4-1 as Markstrom loses to Trevor Kidd. 23 squad, Elias Lindholm, his only goal. By Calgary goes by Gary Roberts, Al MacInnis, Kitchener, Joe Nieuwendyk, and Gary Roberts again. Alright, game 2's Atlanta. They win 2-0. 2-0. Bouchard beats Leland Irving. Jacques Bouchard with a pair of goals, and Eric Vale scored. Atlanta looking pretty good. Where have we heard that before? The 91 Flames tie that series up. Walmsley beats Markstrom. The 22 squad, Elias Lindholm and Trevor Lewis. Calgary goes by 91 squad's Field Fleury, Gary Roberts, and Robert Reichel. The 94 squad loses in overtime 7-6 as Vladar beats Mikey Vernon. The 94 squad was down 5-2, but they pulled it off. The 94 squad had goals by Sandy McCarthy, Sharon Titoff, Robert Reichel again, Reichel for the hat trick, and Paul Rainheim. Meanwhile, the 23 squad, Mangiapane, Nazem Kadri, Kitchener, Toffoli, Mangiapane again, Dale Dubé. He who shall not be spoken unless you believe in the whole thing that, he's innocent until proven guilty. You know what I'm talking about. Michael Backlund, and then in overtime on the power play, thanks to a Ronnie Stern penalty, Milan Lucic from Blake Coleman. Meanwhile, the 06 squad is now up 2-0 in their series. Kiprusoff beats Reggie Lemelin. The 84 squad only goal by Colin Patterson, but Marcus Nielsen, Dion Phaneuf, and Byron Nelson. Richie. Why would I say that? So in game 3, we see 91 versus 22, and the 22 squad wins 4-1. Vladar beats Walmsley. Love you. Anyway, the 91 squad, Field Fleury, his second goal. Lindholm, Coleman, Goudreau, and Kachuk with the goals for Calgary, the 22 squad. Meanwhile, the 94 squad wins 3-2. Further beats Markstrom. The 94 squad, Al MacInnis, Kitchener, Field Fleury, and Kissio. 23 squad, Sadorov, and Milan Lucic. 84 versus 06. The 06 squad is now up 3-0. Kiprusoff takes down Lemelin. 84 squad, Lanny McDonald the only goals, but Jerome Logilla with 2 goals, Sean Donovan with 2, and Chris Simon. Boo that guy. With a goal. And the 2012 squad wins over the 75 Atlanta Flames. Meyer loses to Lee Irving. Paul Byron and Jay Bouwmeester for Calgary. Atlanta's goal by Romanich. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, game 4. Does the 06 Flames get the sweep? They do. 5-2. Kiprusoff beats Lemelin. 84 squad, Hockenlube and Mike Eves with the goals by the 06 Flames. Lombardi, Iginla, Donovan, Huselis, and Lankow. So the 06 Flames are in the semifinals. 75 Atlanta. They lose again. L'Imprecation. Care beats Bouchard. Atlanta had goals by Keith McCreary, Kurt Bennett, and Kurt Bennett again. 2012 Calgary, Bouwmeester, Stajan, Iginla, and then in overtime on the power play with Pat Quinn. Yes, that Pat Quinn in the box. Mike Camilleri from Brandon Morrison. Meanwhile, the 22 Flames are now up 3-1 in their series, 5-4. Vladar beats Walmsley in overtime. 91 Flames had goals by Joe Nieuwendyk, Jamie McCowan, Sergei Makarov, and Theo Fleury. 22 Flames, Johnny Goudreau, Matthew Kachuk, and Johnny Goudreau finished off his hat trick on the power play thanks to Al MacInnis being in the box. Boo, hiss. Kitchener Rangers are supposed to be disciplined. The 94 Flames are now up 3-1 in their series, 2-0. Fronin with a shutout over Markstrom. Reichel and Neuendijk are your goal scorers. Now, the 2-2 series, Atlanta, they win on home turf 5-2. Bouchard beats Carlson. I don't know what, Robert Carlson? But anyway, the 2012 Flames were up 2-0. Tangay with a pair of goals, but Atlanta scored the next 5. Mannery, Fail, Harvey, Leiter, and Hextall. Byron Hextall, that is. Not the Brian Hextall who scored the winning goal in the 1940 Stanley Cup for the Rangers, but Brian Hextall Jr. 22 Flames, are they in the semifinals? Yes, they are. 4-2, they win. Markstrom beats Walmsley. 91 squad, Gilmore and Otto with goals. Johnny Goudreau with 2. Mine Japane and Elias Lindholm, the other goal scorers. Meanwhile, the 94 squad wins in overtime. Wins the shutout 5-0. Andre Trevlov gets a shutout over Markstrom. Reichel with 1. Ronnie Stern with 1. Theo Fleury with 2. And Gary Roberts with 1. So we have to figure out that fourth semifinal. Atlanta, they lose in overtime 5-4 as Kipper beats Meyer. 75 Flames, Hextall Jr., Jacques Richard, Tim Ecclestone, and Kurt Bennett. Calgary goes by Smith, Paul Byron, Babchuk, Oli Jokinen, and overtime heroics by Brad Jones, I guess, from Stegen and Iginla. Now, Game 7, does Atlanta win? The answer is no, they don't. Atlanta hilariously had a 2-0 series lead in both the Flames storyline and the Jets storyline, and they botched it. No Atlanta teams got to win a playoff series. Kipper beats Meyer. Jacques Richard scored for Atlanta, but Iginla and Jokinen. Unbelievable. How shit-tastic Atlanta is. And they say, oh, we want another team. Well, if you can't do well in this tournament, fuck you. That's what I gotta say. Fuck you. So anyway, the 06, 12, 94, and 22 squads are in the semifinals. It will be 94 versus 12 and 22 versus 6. First game of the semifinals sees the 2012 team win in overtime. Big win over Calgary. Kipper beats Kidd. 94 squad had Robert Reichel, Gary Roberts, and Ronnie Stern scoring goals. The 2012 squad, Oli Jokinen, Jerome Iginla again, and then on power play with Joe Otto in the box, Curtis Glengrass. Game 1 of the other semifinals sees the 22 Flames win in overtime 3-2. Markstrom beats Kipper. As we had a lot of plays, the 06 Flames, Ferentz and Lombardi. Keelanton for the 22 squad, then Elias Lindholm. But in overtime, it was actually a long overtime. You see 89 minutes, so it took double overtime. With Roman Hammerlick in the box for hooking, Elias Lindholm his second of the night, fifth of the playoffs from Pitlick and Goudreau. Wow, double overtime. The 94 squad wins 2-1 in Game 2 as Vernon beats Kipper. 94 squad, Kitchener. Al McGinnis with his third. Wes Walsh scoring. And then Curtis Glencross for the 12 squad. Meanwhile, the 22 Flames lose in overtime. This time it took 7 minutes of overtime. The 06 squad wins. Iginla and Phaneuf in regulation for the 06 squad. Goudreau and Kachuk for the 22 squad. But in overtime with Michael Backlund in the box, Robin Regier from Darren McCarty and Sean Donovan. So both series 1-1. Go to Game 3. The 2012 team wins 3-2. Kipper beats Trevelov. 94 squad, Joe Otto and Theo Fleury. 12 squad, Scott Hannon, Mike Camilleri, and Oli Jokinen. Meanwhile, the 22 squad wins 3-2. Fuldar beats Kipper. The 22 squad, Johnny Goudreau, his eighth, then Lindholm and Blake Coleman. Calgary goes by Chris Simon and Sean Donovan. The 22 squad loses Game 4 2-0, so it's 2-2. We will see at least a Game 6 in that series. Kipper with a shutout over Markstrom, Gila, and Lankow are your heroes. Meanwhile, the 2012 squad loses 4-3, so that series will go to at least a Game 6. Fernie beats Kipper. The 2012 squad, Agila, his fifth, Stepniak, and Backlund, both their first. 94 Flames, Sherman Titoff, Gary Roberts, Gary Suter, and Titoff again. All 4 goals scored by supported by the letter G. For good grief. Anyway, Game 5s sees 94 team with the shutout. Does Kidd with the shutout over Kipper. Trent Yanni and Sherman Titoff with goals. On the other side of the coin, the 22 Flames win 4-2 as Markstrom beats Kipper. 22 squad, Michael Backlund, Dylan Dubé, Mangiapane, and Matthew Tkachuk. The 06 squad, Sean Donovan and Christian Huselius. Do the 22 Flames get to the final? The answer is yes, they do. Overtime heroics. Markstrom beats Kippersoft. The 06 squad had 2 goals by McCarty and Huselius to tie the game after Toffoli and Mangiapane did it. But at 13:59 in overtime, with Craig McDonald almost on his penalty, Sadorov, his second of the campaign from Lindholm and Monahan. Monahan. Now, did the 94 Flames go to the final? No, they lose 3-1 as Kipper beats Vernon. But the 94 squad goes back home to win. Sandy McCarthy for the 94 squad. Curtis Glencross, 2 goals for the 12 squad. And Jay Bowmeister. So, who do the 22 Flames face in the finals? Boom. It is the 94 squad. Kidd beats Kippersoft. Glencross is 6, but Reichel scored 2 goals to make it 8 and Field Fleury his 5th. So it's 94 versus 22. The 94 squad, Mike Vernon 4-2, Trevor Kidd 3-1, Trevelov 1-1. Look at Trevelov, 1-1, but he has the goals against of 1-5-2. Well, it helps if you get a shutout. So they went 5-7. Robert Reichel 13 points, Field Fleury 11. My man Alan McGinnis with 9, and the 22 squad, right? Yeah, the 22 squad. Daniel Fullard. Put him in net. He has a 2-2-1 goals against. He's 3-0. Mark's 5-3 with 1-8-6. Johnny Gaudreau 15 points. Elias Lindholm 13. Matthew Tkachuk 12. So if the 94 Flames win the tournament, Vancouver will lead off our 8th video in the series with another team. If the 22 Flames win, I don't know. I think I'll go with Nashville. Yeah, I'll go with Nashville. So it's either Nashville or Vancouver that will lead off the 8th video. So anyway, 22 versus 94. Let's see. How many teams from 94 made it? No teams from the 90s have qualified. Well, I have 91 and 94. 22's got a lot. So anyway, here we go. Game 1 sees the newbies win 1-0. Markstrom with the shutout over Kidd. Elias Lindholm has 7 from Keelanton and Lucic. Game 2 sees the 22 Flames win 3-2 as Fullard beats Kidd. 22 squad was up. Big Mangiapane his 5th. Chris Tanev his 1st. Dylan Dubé his 2nd. Calgary 94 score. Paul Krause and Robert Reichel. Reichel with his 9th. The 22 squad is going to look like they're going to sweep 4-2. Markstrom beats Vernon. 94 was up 2-0. Roberts and Michael Nylander. But then Elias Lindholm, Dylan Dubé, Oliver Keelanton, and Blake Coleman scoring the goals. And do the 22 Flames get the sweep? No, they lose 4-1. Vernon beats Markstrom. Dylan Dubé scored his 4th, but anyway, Calgary goes by West Walls, Sherman Titov, and then 2 by Field Fleury. And the 22 team, second time around, wins big, so they are in the tournament. 4-2, Markstrom beats Kidd. 94 goes by Robert Reichel his 10th, and Joe Nieuwendyk his 3rd. But Blake Coleman, Michael Backlund, Johnny Gaudreau, and Chris Tanev are your goal scorers for Calgary. And I have to take a look at... We'll have to take a look at like how Calgary did in the 2022 squad. I think they lost in the second round. Yeah, they lost in the second round because I know Edmonton they lost to Edmonton. Edmonton's already had a video, right? Yeah, Edmonton's already been done. So we'll take a look at Nashville next time. Nashville will lead off the 8th video. So just to give you a warning. And how much time do I have? Okay, well, alright. Anyway, I've jumped out of it.